What is going on, world? What's up, everyone? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new StarCraft 2 video. This one is between two players on the WCS Pro circuit, spawning here in the top left-hand corner of Neon Violet Square LE, playing with the red Protoss pieces. He wants to finish up this series right here and right now. His name is Neeb. And his opponent spawning in the cross position, playing with the blue Zerg pieces. He currently evened up the score and wants to finish off this series right here and right now. His name is Elazer. So guys and girls, this series has been absolutely incredible. Between two of the best players out there on the WCS Pro circuit, this series and game in particular were played at the WCS in Leipzig, was one of the quarterfinals of that tournament. And of course, guys, you want to win this, you of course want to win this series and then move on to the semifinal and have a chance at the grand finals of the WCS, simply because if you win any of the WCS stops, you of course get invited automatically to BlizzCon, which of course is the biggest tournament in StarCraft 2. And so these players are fighting for a spot in the semifinal of the WCS in Leipzig. So really exciting stuff. This has been an incredible series, as I said, guys, between these two players. And I've got to say, I've really enjoyed watching both of them. I've seen things from Neeb as well as Elazer that really stand out. But I gotta say, guys, both these players really have not had didn't have a great 2018, and I'm anticipating both of them have a really good 2019, because as you can see from this series so far, if you've been watching, they are both still forces to be reckoned with each of their individual races that they play with. That said, though, let's get into what our players are doing on either side of the map. It seems like Neeb is going to go for a very standard opener, go for that gateway into the assimilator, into the Nexus, and of course following that up with the Cybernetics core. Whereas on the opposite side of the map, we've got Elazer going for the very standard hatch gas pool opener. He's going to go ahead and get that Zergling speed upgrade relatively quickly here, the most standard upgrade for a Zerg player. And then we also see on the opposite side, the tech of choice by Neeb is going to be a Stargate that he's going to get started here relatively early on in the game. So the question that I'm wondering is that I feel that Neeb in game number 4 really felt, and if I was Neeb personally, he really felt that he had an edge, especially with the Phoenix switch. And I thought that was a beautiful switch by Neeb in game number 4. I just think that a little bit of some miss micro by Neeb ended up losing a lot of those Phoenixes. If he doesn't do that in this game, I think he's going to be in a really good spot. Beautiful play already by Elazer, trying to get the kill there. Does not get the kill on that Adept. That Adept's going to try to shade in and maybe try to get a little bit of some scouting information. Does seem, though, that Elazer, he's trying to hide or kind of pushes that spawning pool a little bit back into the further spot of his main base. Nonetheless, though, I would like to see a similar build to what Neeb did in game number 4, simply because I think it almost worked. It really almost worked. It was just a little bit of miss micro. We are going to see the third hatchery coming in now for Elazer. So it looks like he's going to go ahead, instead of deciding to go ahead and get, some aggression going, he is deciding to go for a standard, macro game where he's going to be able to start building up that economy, get a booming economy going, which I like that decision a lot. We're going to also see a couple more gateways coming in now for our Protoss player. And we're going to start seeing, more and more oracles coming out, as well as, of course, the follow-up, which is going to be the Phoenix. And I like that decision a lot as well. For Neeb. So it seems like Neeb is going to go ahead and he's deciding to get, kind of go for the same sort of build that he went for in game number 4. Warp Gate is just finishing up being researched, and the lair is now being morphed in for Elazer. We're also going to go ahead and see the robotics facility coming in now for Neeb. So we're starting to kind of see what both these players are deciding to do. I'm going to be interested to see the tech of choice, or the structures of choice that we see out of Elazer here. Is he going to go for that Hydra Den, or is he going to go for something else? It should be interesting to say the least. We see the third Nexus now coming in for Neeb. Not too surprised, Neeb is probably feeling pretty confident right now. He's probably feeling, you know, he's feeling pretty good about himself. And in the current position that he's in, you know, kind of confirming that that third hatchery was going down. So he's going to go ahead and get a third Nexus of his own. And, you know, as I said, I would love to see more of the same of game number 4 for our Protoss player. And here we go. Some of those, some of these Orcas are going to try to get a few kills. They do get some kills. Beautiful play there. We're seeing this more and more out of the out of, you know, StarCraft 2 in general. You got the 2 Oracles with the Phoenix. So the Phoenix can pick up that Queen. And then, of course, those Oracles can just go right after that mineral line. Definitely is, you know, a great strategy. And it can do a significant amount of damage if you're not careful. That said, though, looks like all 3 of these hatcheries are going to be fully saturated very shortly for Elazer, and so he's going to have a nice economy. But the same can be said now for Neeb. Neeb's economy is going to start booming very shortly. He's going to be researching Charge at this point out of the Twilight Council. He's also going to get the Templar Archives being constructed at this point as well. And we're starting to see out of that robotics facility, we're starting to see more and more Immortals that are going to be coming in. I like that decision a lot by Neeb. So, as I said, I would like to see more of the same from Neeb, but, you know, Neeb is not Showtime, right? And Showtime, of course, is incredible. I think the best player on the planet when it comes to using the Phoenixes, and Neeb is better at, generally speaking, using the ground-based units, in my opinion. That being, of course, the Colossus play, that being Immortals and Stalkers. I find that Neeb is very good at that unit composition. We are going to see Storm being researched right now, so that's interesting. I'm interested to see what Neeb decides to do now. You know, going for that Storm, going to go ahead and of course get some High Templar out. Obviously, we are going to see the beautiful scout here though by Elazer. He's going to see essentially exactly what is going on. That is a beautiful scout by Elazer. Charge is going to be researched in less than 5 seconds. We're also going to see the Forge coming in, which is of course going to help with some of those ground-based units as well, or unit upgrades. And then we're going to see more and more gateways coming in now for Neeb, and there are a decent amount of High Templar now. This is a decent-sized High Templar army, and I kind of like that a lot. We're going to start seeing some Archons coming in, another robotics facility coming in as well. Possibly, are we going to see some double, you know, the double Immortals coming out at a time? Mass Revelation comes in, kind of keeping tabs on what's going on with the Zergling army. And we're seeing about 10 of those Hydralisks on the production tab at this point as well. And we see that that 4th base coming in now for Elazer. So, I gotta say, you know, both players are giving each other, you know, that mutual respect right now, which I like a lot. You know, we got the Lurker Den is up. We have Lurkers now coming in for Elazer, but Neeb knows exactly what's going on, and this is going to give him such an advantage moving forward. He knows exactly what's going on. Missile attacks level 1 is finishing up in less than 5 seconds now for Elazer. But I don't know, guys. I really like the position right now of Neeb. He's on 3 bases. I know that you know, our Zerg player is on 4 now. It's all going to come down to the engagement, but Neeb knows exactly where the Zerg army is right now. Those Mass Revelations are helping out so significantly at this point in the game. This army composition is going to start getting scarier the longer this game goes. And it looks like, just like that, some storms are going to come in. It looks like, I'm not sure if Elazer wants to take this fight, at least at this point. Those storms are coming down doing a lot of damage, though. Ground weapons level 3 is going to be finishing up in a couple of seconds for our Protoss player. So now those ground-based upgrades are being started, and we're seeing 3 Archons being constructed at a time for Neeb. And I like that a lot. The Spire switch is coming in, as well as that Infestation Pit. So the Infestation Pit obviously is going down. We're going to probably start seeing those higher tier Hive units coming in for Elazer. The Spire switch may be, that might be very interesting, actually. I actually kind of like the decision a lot to go for the Spire. The question is timing. Is Elazer, or is Neeb going to be going in for a timing push at any point in time at this point? That being said, though, it does look like Elazer might try to get a little bit aggressive once again. He's going to start to move in with some of these lurkers, and just like that, the positioning of these lurkers is pretty good. Some of those storms are going to be landed right on top of those lurkers, though, doing a lot of damage. These immortals are absolutely decimating this army so far. The lurkers are in a good position at this point, and more of these hydras are going to start joining that fight. But there are a lot of immortals out, and that is a very scary unit composition. All those immortals, and once again, it looks like Elazer wants to take this fight. He wants to continue pushing onward. Lots of immortals, though, you know, are out, as well as those High Templar. This is a very, you know, cost-heavy unit composition, but at the same time, this is a scary unit composition by our Protoss player. We are starting to see the creep spread is starting to move past past almost near the halfway point of the map. We're going to see that that fifth base is going to be going down here very shortly for Neeb. Trying to get the cancel, does get the cancel. Beautiful pick up there by Elazer. But you do not want to lose this entire army, though, at the same time. Neeb has got a very nice, you know, army here, and that Mass Revelation is really keeping tabs on a lot of this army, which is definitely something that Neeb wants to continue. Ground weapons level 2 is going to be finishing up now for Neeb. And you know, this Greater Spire is going to be coming in as well for Elazer. So Elazer's trying to buy himself some time so that he can probably go in and get some Brood Lords. The question is, though, is he going to have enough to hold off this army? Oh my, you do not want to lose all of those High Templar. Beautiful micro there by Neeb, going ahead and getting the Archon constructed in the nick of time. But a lot of these units are starting to really push heavily onto the Protoss' side of the map. I don't know if I like this decision. This may kind of feels like a little bit of an overextension by Elazer at this point in the game. He has got a lot of his army over near this third base location. It is being cleared out. Elazer is playing this actually pretty well, though. At the same time, he got the cancel once again on this fifth base. And the longer this game goes, I mean, Elazer's consistently constructing more and more bases. He had the gold base now. And this could get kind of scary as we approach that 12.5-minute mark between these two players. I'm a little bit, you know, to be honest, guys, I'm starting to get a little bit concerned for Neeb at this point, even though he has a very nice unit composition. Here we go. Once again, Elazer is not letting off. He is keeping the aggression going against his opponent, but beautiful storms by Neeb is definitely going to keep this army a little bit hesitant to continue moving forward. A massive warping of more High Templar is coming in, though, and these storms could really decimate this army. These Hydralisks are going to continue moving onward. They're going to try to do as much damage as possible. I don't know if I like this. The mothership is coming in, and it does look like finally Neeb is going to push this army back, and I don't know if I like that engagement very much by Elazer. I love the aggression, but I just don't like the way he did it. I feel like he should have hit somewhere else. You know, maybe some drop play, possibly. I just don't know if I really liked this choke point right near that third base. I don't know if I really like that Elazer really pushing in there. And now with the mothership out, you're gonna have to come up with some decisions here. We are gonna see 5 Brood Lords are gonna be coming out, though, for Elazer, and I like that decision a lot. There's not a lot that can shoot upward for our Protoss player, and I think this might throw him off a little bit, but at the same time, he's got such a, I mean, he's got so many High Templar right now, and, you know, of course, the Archons can, of course, shoot up. Graviton Catapult is being researched and just is completing right now. We're also going to see some more of these Corruptors that are going to be coming in here as well. The Zergling run-by looks like that does fail at first as well. But the mothership is really going to be helpful later on in this game. Now, there is a, you know, it looks like Elazer is I like the way Elazer's playing this. He's kind of splitting up his army in different areas, and it looks like he's going to try to catch a few of those High Templar off, but oh my god, the storms! Absolutely, the reaction time there was absolutely on point, and once again, it's on point against this army composition of course, all of those Hydralisks, and air weapons level 1 is just finishing up. The carriers are being constructed. This is starting to get a little bit scary. I'm starting to get a little bit worried for Elazer, who is almost maxed out. And I do know that the Broodlords are going to be, are going to be confirmed by Neeb. The question that remains, though, it does look like Neeb is not afraid. He's going to start moving on to heavily onto creep here, going after that gold base. Does get it, and here we go. The storms are just absolutely decimating this army right now. Now you got to be careful. You do not want to overextend at this point against the Zerg opponent, as these Broodlords are starting to move in. The carriers are out. These Broodlords are going to start moving in. They're going to try to start taking out a lot of those Immortals, getting the surround on the Immortals. I don't know about this. It does look like it's so neck and neck. Who's got the advantage right now? I think Elazer actually evened up the score right there. Now these run-bys of these Zealots is absolutely brilliant, taking out one base, of course, of Elazer. Flyer attacks level 1 is going to be finishing up now. But once again, these Broodlords are trying to trap this army composition, but they are going to mass recall back home. So that being said, right now, Elazer lost two. He lost 2 of his bases. The gold base is being retaken now, but I don't know how if I like this very much. It does look like Elazer's going to continue trying to push forward, and I don't know if I like this very much. Elazer is starting to lose a lot of supply. You don't want to lose these Broodlords, though. There's not a lot that can shoot up in this army composition of the Protoss player, but more and more carriers are being added to the mix, and it does look like these Corruptors are going to start trying to move forward, try to get that mothership at some point or another. The Broodlords are trying to do as much damage as possible as well, and it looks like they are starting to do a little bit of some damage, but Neeb is nearly maxed out again, and it does look like, can Elazer take out this base, which of course would be the 5th base location. The fight is happening. Who is actually winning this engagement, though? It does look like right here and right now, Elazer is winning this engagement, but for how long? Because it does look like those carriers are going to be are obviously able to shoot up. It looks like Neeb at this point is going to allow that 5th base to go down, but at the same time he's getting his gold base going. So at the same time, a run-by is happening with all of these, with about 4 Zealots trying to do some damage to a lot of those drones. Transfuses are coming in by the Queens on some of those Broodlords, but there's just not a lot left, and it looks like they're going to get some of these, a few, actually probably about 4 of those High Templar for practically free. Now you got to be very careful, though. It looks like these carriers are going to start moving in. They're going after all of those Broodlords. There is really nothing stopping these, all of these carriers. Beautiful play here. I don't know. This is such an awkward position by both of these players. Who really does have the edge at this point? It does look like some of those, a few of those Broodlords are going to start moving onto the Protoss' side of the map. And the longer this game goes, I'm really concerned about Elazer right now. He doesn't have much more army left, and Neeb is just kind of clearing out a lot of this unit, a lot of these units out of the Zerg's army. The Zerg is starting to really collapse as far as his supply is concerned, and so many of those units, almost all of those units, are about to go down by our Zerg player. The Protoss player is playing this thing absolutely brilliantly, and now we're starting to see Void Rays come into the mix. Wow, dude, this is just an intense matchup between these two players. We've passed that 19-minute mark. And I mean, there's really no signs that Neeb necessarily needs to GG out quite yet. He is behind, but he still has a lot of bases. Now, some of these are starting to, mine out. Neeb is going ahead and he's getting some more bases of his own. But it's starting to just concern me personally. What both these players are probably, they're going to have to clash again. And it looks like they're going to clash right now. more and more of these units. It just seems like there just might be a little bit too much Protoss here with all those high Templar. You don't want to lose this entire army because then it will essentially be over. The beautiful storms on all of these units. Oh, it's so painful to watch. Those storms are just absolutely brilliant. Neeb is going to start moving. It looks like he's going to start moving out onto the Zerg side of the map, possibly. Looks like he's going to start going after some of these other mining bases. But there's just not much left that can really be done for our Zerg player. Now, the Zerg, you know, he can, of course, climb his way back in, but I just don't think that Neeb is going to allow this to happen. I can't see this being, you know, him allowing it to happen. He's going to start to move in with the carriers. GG is called, and Neeb wins this series 3-2. Beautiful game, everyone. I hope you guys did enjoy it. And if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and as always, I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.